Yep, the time has finally come. Hello everybody, and welcome to the Kirby and the Forgotten Land demo No Right Button Challenge. In this challenge, we will be attempting to go through the demo version of Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and attempting to beat it without pressing right. The rules are very simple. We are not allowed to press the right button at all during gameplay. Our goal for the demo is to get a 100% completion by completing all 4 of the missions and unlocking the new adventure code. So let's get started. We immediately hit a wall, an arrival point, but we can get out of it by moving the camera to the left, pointing directly down, sucking, and then barely tapping up so that Kirby can face right. This is called camera manipulation, and we're going to be using it for a lot of this playthrough. While we're facing right, we can initiate a chain of slide jumps. As the naming suggests, you slide into a jump. It's similar to the spin jump move from the Donkey Kong Country games. It's nothing special, but it's the fastest way to move, so we're gonna have to use it. Here, I tried to walk across this metal bar, but while I was changing my direction by sucking, I sucked up a bomb and accidentally obtained the bomb ability. I removed it right away, because we can't suck while we have a copy ability unless we are near a mouthful mode, which doesn't help for this challenge. So I'll be going through most of the game with no copy ability. Here, I become Carmouth. This is the most useful mouthful mode in Kirby and the Forgotten Land. This is because, whenever we're facing right, we can just use up and down to be able to change our direction instead of left and right. This makes it so much easier to navigate through levels without pressing right. It's too bad that Carmouth isn't available in every stage, but at least we can deal with what we got. This makes the rest of the level a piece of cake. Of course, Carmouth is short-lived because we have to leave it behind once we get to the next screen, but it isn't that much more difficult to make it up to the ruins of Waddle Dee Town and save Elfilin. There isn't much to say about the Awoofies. I just stood in the center of the ring and pressed up and down the whole time. With Elfilin saved, we can move on to the next level with 0 right presses. Things are about to get more interesting with Downtown Grassland, since we need to complete missions while also clearing the stage. To be able to 100% the level, we need to save the 3 hidden Waddle Dees, break into the building's shutter, make 5 tulips blossom, and climb to the top of the balcony. The gacha machine figures and blue coins don't matter. The first tulip was no issue, but the second tulip had me using camera manipulation to get to the switch. Breaking into the building's shutter is the hardest mission in the entire demo. We have to go in as vending mouth to be able to break it with our soda cans. The problem? We can't suck to be able to redirect ourselves like what we've been doing without a copy ability or a mouthful mode. All we can do is move the camera to the right and hold up, and move the camera to the left and hold down. After doing this a couple times, we can make it into the building shutter and break it. After leaving the building, we can make it to the warp star. There was something funky going on with camera manipulation. Whenever I tried to turn right by tapping down, Kirby would just turn to the left instead. So I pretty much just had to hug the wall of the building the entire time until I got to the cones. After having to redirect myself for what felt like ages, I got into cone mouth and got to the top of the balcony. The copy ability that I recommend for the boss fight is Cutter, because it's going to make it easier than with Bomb. I had to take out the Awufi on the left, and then use camera manipulation to deal with the other bunny enemy on the right. As for Wild Edge, I kinda just went right next to it and just spammed the attack button to be able to get through the fight faster. And with that, we have saved our first Waddle Dee. The second Waddle Dee requires camera manipulation to get to. I had to turn the camera to the right as far as it would go so that I could redirect myself towards the building. With Dome Mouth, instead of rotating the analog stick multiple times, we can just mash up and down over and over, and then it'll eventually come off so that we can save the Waddle Dee. Unfortunately, we need Cutter or Sword for the third Waddle Dee. Thankfully, it wasn't that hard to get. I just had to climb to the top of the building, move the camera to the left, and throw a boomerang to chop the vine so that I could get Cone. A bit more camera manipulation later, and we were able to save the Waddle Dee. Despite being able to move the camera at great distances, climbing the final tower is still a pain. But we need Cone Mouth to be able to get to the end of the level, so we can't just leave it behind. With the last enemy at the end of the level, we can't take shelter fast enough to be able to get through it at our own pace, so we will have to damage boost. I tried this in wild mode and I had no luck because I died here, even with full health. But if you need more health, there's this hole in the ground that contains corn in it. With Spring Breeze mode, we can make it through just fine. And that wraps up Downtown Grassland. That brings us to the final stage of the demo, the Brawl at the Mall. There isn't much difficulty in this level since there are no more missions, so we just need to focus on the boss. As soon as the level starts though, I have to do a continuous chain of jumps to be able to get anywhere. While I was using camera manipulation to course correct myself, while I was sucking to be able to turn, I somehow was turning left instead of right. I guess Kirby was cooperating with the camera less, but I did get it eventually, so we could slide jump towards the copy ability pedestal. The copy ability that I went for is Ice, because it's the easiest and fastest copy ability that you can use against Gorimondo. So I grabbed Ice and used more camera manipulation to be able to make it to the boss. Just like before, you can mash up and down on the joystick instead of rotating it to escape Gorimondo's hand. And now it's on to the boss fight. This boss fight can just be cheesed by just freezing Gorimondo from under his legs. You can win this fight by technically just moving up and down, thanks to the camera being extremely responsive. So there's not much to talk about in this fight, other than try not to lose your copy ability too much, and always make sure that you can recover it. And with that, with the defeat of Gorimondo, the Kirby and the Forgotten Land demo No Right challenge has been cleared. And just to prove that I got 100%, here are the clear demo and new adventure codes. I plan on doing the full game without pressing right now that I already have it, so stay tuned for that. And with that, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, consider subscribing, let me know in the comments what you would like to see next, and I'll catch you in the next video. Goodbye.